Hello there, welcome again to this masterclass today. My name is Dr. Oluwasegun Julius Aroba, and I'm the Wealth, Career, Professional, Entrepreneurship Mindset Surgeon. In this masterclass today, I'm going to be talking about the 7 wealth vehicles. You should know that in the days where we are, there are vehicles and there are categories of vehicles. Building sustainable wealth is not about putting all your eggs in one basket. To create a long-lasting prosperity, you need to diversify your wealth building efforts. This means that you need to understand the various vehicles that will allow you to be able to know how to use your wealth strategies consecutively. There are quite a lot of different proven ways that successful individuals or successful wealth creators have been able to use to create wealth and persevere their wealth over time or preserve their wealth over time. And the mastering of these vehicles, you'll be able to leverage them. And the first of them is that of business ownership. The business ownership is what I call the power of entrepreneurship, because the first and arguably most powerful wealth vehicle in this world of business today is only the business that you will be able to control over your financial future and also offers some of the opportunity in building a significant wealth over time. A successful business allows you to be able to generate income and also scale your operations and create a long-lasting time value for everything you do. As a business owner, it is not without its challenge. Bear in mind that there are a lot of challenges that it requires. It requires a lot of dedication, it requires hard work, also a deep understanding of your market and your customer segmentations. And this is one of the key of making wealth so that you can be able to scale over time. For example, on the other hand, you can also buy what I call franchising. In one of our conferences that we had about the Global Wealth Summit, there is what I call the Franchising Association. They came and they presented different franchises of different forms, such as McDonald's. So, in that conference that we had about the World Global Wealth Summit, there is franchising association that were around, because you can buy franchises of KFC, of McDonald's, of hotels, and so on and so forth. And that way you can actually become a business owner, because you're buying a franchise of a business that's already globally, and they can give you the recipes or the template of how they were able to. For example, look at Protea Hotel. When you go to Protea Hotel or Marriott Hotel in another country, it looks like the same settings in another country. It's like McDonald's, for example. McDonald's in the UK, McDonald's in America, they quite taste the same, just like KFC as well, for example, in terms of consumables. The same recipe they use in KFC in another country is the same thing. You can actually buy that franchises in a very good country or location, and you can become a business owner and you can manage it and you focus on. Again, there's quite a lot of things in terms of business entrepreneur. Now, the second category of wealth vehicle is that of the real estate. Building wealth through property is also very good. And real estate is one of the oldest and most reliable, because it is what they call reality estate. It is real. And it is an estate. It's tangible. You can touch it. You can feel it. You can see it. It doesn't vanish away like stocks, like shares, like Bitcoin or cryptos or different varieties of them. But it's real. It has stood the test of time because it offers numerous ways of generating income and building equity. For example, you can actually look at your value of properties. If you buy properties in a highbrow area, the value increases every year or every month, depending on where you buy that property. The property you buy yesterday is not the same price as today, because when a small beautification comes into the area, development comes into the area, then your property go up and skyrocket. And these are some of the strategies that we have used to be able to build wealth. In real estate, you can do rentals, you can do short lettings, Airbnbs, you can do home away, you can do home for you can do home stays, you can do a lot of them on staycations. and so on and so forth. You can use different platforms. You can even partner with a lot of people, cinematographers, or people that are experts, or film industries, that you can use your property to be able to give you money over time. You can also list your properties on different platforms, on stock exchange, and you can also bring more people to co-invest into it, and you own it as an hotel or things like that. Before you know it, you generate what I call passive income. That is second category of it. And there is another one called what I call the stock market investing. Harnessing the power of compounding. In stock marketing, you've got to look at how you compound over time. Stock market is one of the most effective wealth building vehicles. For example, we have different stocks as a family, where we might not even look at it in a day, in 2 days, in weeks, in months. But because what we pick into the pocket of our stocks, we know that by the time we pick about 14 buckets, different categories of stocks, from global markets to global equities, and you harness it together, compounding it together. While some are losing, some will be gaining. It depends on how much you invest in different categories of them. I don't want to give you, I'm not a financial expert in terms of stock marketing, but there is a lot of things, and I call it that there is power of compounding in there, but you have to be patient in that category. Or the ETFs, exchange traded funds, or mutual funds, and there are very, very different options to be able to accelerate your wealth. Tips I'm going to give to you is that you need to focus on building a diversified portfolio of stocks and other security to minimize risk. You don't just focus only on one stock. If you focus on one stock, that stock might crash. But when you have different diversities of portfolio of stocks, you'll be able to gain more. The fourth category of vehicle is what I call the intellectual property. You turn your own ideas into income. Now, when you create a software, for example, you don't just sell the software to a company. You don't just give it out to people for free. You can actually make it an intellectual IP. And there is one article that I wrote that I presented what I call the power of intellectual property. You can go to my Google Scholar called Julius Oluwasegun Aroba. You will look at the intellectual property article that I wrote that was actually peer reviewed in a conference in a country called South Africa, and I presented that article is actually one of the best conference paper that received an award during the period when I was presenting in 2024. Intellectual property is often overlooked in so many countries, but it is an avenue where you can create wealth. But it can be incredibly lucrative. Intellectual property is also refers to creation of your mind, your own idea, such as your inventions, your patents, your trademarks, your copyrights. And so that nobody can actually use whatever you've created because you've copyrighted it in a country where you belong to. And when anybody uses it, you can sue them, you can make money off them. A lot of celebrities, they do that. Even songwriters, musicians, poetists, book writers, lecturers, and so on and so forth, talents. People that have been given talent. You can't just mimic people without having. If that mimicness or the logo of that company or the individual personality or character is actually being patented, nobody can actually use it without their permission. For example, can you use the KFC logo on any platform without you having a partnership with them or owning a franchise to be able to do some things? Or McDonald's. Or perhaps you want to use Marriott logo just anyhow. Or a varsity's maybe Coventry University or Harvard University logo just like that. No, you must have affiliation or partnership with them before you are actually able to do that. Or else you will lose your licensing fee for that product or that services you are rendering. This is where you need to be careful of what you are lifting from different platforms and be putting it onto your business. You might lose the rights of your business when the company find out. Be careful of that. But if you put it into a patent or whatever you've created, it's going to help you. One strategy I'm going to give you there, the tips is that focus on creating IPs that is scalable, evergreen something that will continue to have value long into the future. For example, look at Julius Aroba logo. Compare it. You can never use that logo. If you use it anywhere, anyhow, you're going to be sued. You're going to be fined a certain X of millions of dollars. Or you want to use the logo of RSM Links Services Limited or RSM Links Study Abroad. All these logos have all been patented, have all been trademarked already because we know the power of this. It's our intellectual property. This is why you don't just want to use logos of people just anyhow. The other one, the fifth category, is that of specialized skills. You want to leverage on your expertise. While building wealth, other vehicles rely on external factors. Specialized skills are something that you can control entirely by developing your expertise in a high demand field. For example, on the other hand, I'm one of those top 10 African AI experts in Africa. At the same time, I'm actually trending at the moment in Europe, in Asian countries, and also in America. But at the same time, I built these skills over time. I had to go to school, I had to learn over the years, build a research team, build a patented, and also build a core skill in what I call artificial intelligence and data science. And today is one of those skills that is in high demand in anything you do. By developing your expertise in that skills that you have, you can be actually a high demand. For example, maybe you have a business or you have a team of people you want to speak to. I can actually come over to speak as a speaker. I'm a global speaker. I've been invited, and I'm also having a lot of invitation in different countries, different conferences that I go to speak, or as in different countries or in different companies, to be able to encourage, to build skills, to help them, to nurture them towards the vision and mission of that company. Now, here lies what skills is in your hand. That tools that you have, that talent that you have you been able to look at how you can market it by developing expertise in that same skills and specific industry? Your personalized special skills are one of the most valuable assets that you've got to cherish. For more details, go take the book. Go order for that book called Wealth Beyond a Lifetime, written by Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba and friends. Wealth Beyond a Lifetime is a book. You can get it on Flutterwave. You can get it on www.juliusaroba.com. You can order for it from that place. What I'm going to be saying there is continually invest in your education to stay ahead of your competitions or competitors. Number 6 is commodity collectibles. It's another vehicle. Number 6, commodities collectible. Now, investing in tangible assets. Commodities and collectibles are tangible assets that can help you to appreciate in value over time. Commodities such as gold, silver, oil, agricultural products often act as hedge against inflation and economics instability. Meanwhile, collectibles such as earth are very rare. You know what I mean by earth? For example, something like this is an earth. For example, there's quite a lot of art that one can actually look out for, that one can actually turn as collectibles. Look at some of these. They are collectibles over the years that you can actually, all these are collectibles. But at the same time, let's focus on it. Rare coin, vintages, cascan increase over value as over the years. That's why you see that man who is driving that old Beatles, because you can't find the product anywhere. It becomes very, very important. Some people amass it, they keep it. The royal, for example, when you look at royal celebrations in most of the top wealthy families across the globe, they have a lot of collectibles, and they use old ancient things for their celebrations, because you can't buy that anywhere. They maintain it over the years because it was made of quality ingredients as at that time. The demand for it grows over the years. The strategy I'm going to give you is that invest in commodities and collectibles with long-term growth potential. Don't just chase trends. Focus on items that have intrinsic value that will continue to appreciate over time. The last vehicle, fellow zillionaires, that I'm going to give to you is lending, borrowing, lending, you giving. Lending creates income through debts. Your banks that operate, they lend money to people, to businesses. Now, some call it Masho in some countries. Some call it Babalajo in some countries. Different names, but people that borrow you money. The final wealth creation is lending, providing capital to others. When you provide capital to people in exchange for interest over, for example, if you go to friends and family that I know of, if you want to borrow, let's say $100,000, they might say they're going to be charging about 20-30% of that money. Now, it boils down to you exchanging the interest over time, lending money to individuals, purchasing bonds, investing in peer-to-peer lending platform. Lending allows you to be able to earn return on your money without having to actively manage a business or an asset. On a quick note, don't borrow money to people you don't have trust that you've not been able to carry out the credit check. More so, if you're part of the Zillionaires community, we're building a gigantic things like this, and I'll advise you, are you a paid member of the Zillionaires community? Please go get the book called The Life and Wealth Beyond the Lifetime from www.juliusaroba.com, and you shall be blessed. On this note, I believe you've been able to learn about the 7 wealth vehicles, which is lending, number 7 that I talked about, and number 6 is that of the commodities, collectibles. Number 5 is that of the specialized skills, leveraging your expertise. Number 4 is that of the intellectual property, and number 3 is that of stock market investing and harnessing the power of compounding. And the number 2 is that of the real estate, which I talked about, building wealth through properties, varieties. And the first one that I talked about is you able to build through business. On this note, these 7 wealth vehicles strategies is what is being practiced all over the world. And I hope you've actually been able to learn something today. My name again, as I say, I'm Wealth, Career, Entrepreneurship, Mindset Surgeon. And my name is Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba. I'll see you again in our next episode. Remain blessed. Make sure you get the book. God bless you. Goodbye.